Says I'm live. I don't know if I am. I assume that I'm live. I don't know if anybody is here, but I'll just start talking. Hi, everybody. I accidentally went 2 weeks without posting. I didn't mean to do that. So, and I also just don't feel like filming anything. I've been so lethargic this whole week. So I haven't felt like filming anything, and then going through the process of taking out my lights, filming the thing, putting it on my computer, editing the thing, blah blah. So, and I always every time I accidentally take a break, and this was truly an accident. I meant to post last week. I had my declutter ready to go, but then I went to edit it and everything was out of focus. So, and I'm not gonna make you guys sit through fuzzy eyeshadow and bronzer swatches. So anyway, so I accidentally took a break because I was sick last week. My video sucked, and then I got engaged, so we could talk about that. And my point is, every time I accidentally take a break, I don't know how to get back into doing YouTube. I'm always I need to get over this slump. So that's what we're doing. Hi, everyone's talking to me. Lisa, Haley, AW Not Root Beer. Yeah, Naha Beauty. Emily's here. Yay! I need to make Emily an admin. Emily, you're a moderator now. Julia, Kathleen, the makeup enthusiast, Avery, Miss Perfect says good evening from Germany. Hello, Annette's here. Yay, Annette! Did you recover from the other live stream yet? I'm good. Courtney, Sharon, everyone's here. Cool. Wrench crew, yeah, says Emily. So, I don't know, I thought we could just hang out because I haven't. My eyes look weird. Do I have makeup on? My one eye? Hold on. Why do I look weird? I don't know, it's probably just lighting. It's also a rainy, blah day. So I just don't feel like doing anything. I ordered tacos and I don't know, I'm lazy. Oh, by the way, so people are saying congratulations to me. Thank you so much. Yeah, I was gonna do an official video and bring Matt on and talk about it. I still might do that. I still might do a Q&A with Matt. We got engaged. We were always kind of unofficially engaged. We knew that we were getting married. We knew we wanted to get married. But on our anniversary, we had to drive back home to my family in New Jersey. And to cut the trip up, we celebrated our actual anniversary, which was October 10th. We celebrated that in New York City at the American Natural History Museum, which is my favorite place on earth because of the dinosaurs. And I had said years ago that that would be the perfect place to propose to me, just walking around the museum and get on one knee. And that's exactly what Matt did. And so after 9 years, we're now officially engaged. There's better photos. This is my webcam. There's better photos of my ring on Instagram. But so yeah, so after 9 years, we're officially engaged. Oh, AW Reaper says I don't have makeup on today since I'm working from home in my TNS, so I'm okay. Yeah, clearly I don't have makeup on. I don't have my hat on. I did just cut my hair, so my hair looks pretty good. But I have Totoro. But it's so gray and so just gloomy. I didn't want to get out of bed because I couldn't tell what time it was. So I got out of bed really late, and I just have been watching spooky things and procrastinating. So this is what we're doing today. Lots of congratulations. Thank you so much. Already we have questions. I figured we could talk about my engagement, spooky things, and makeup. I figure those were the things that people cared about, but I'll let you guys decide what we're doing. Lisa says, it's so rainy. Did you hear the thunder this morning? I did not hear thunder, but it is gray. I mean, it's pretty because I can see outside the leaves are finally totally orange. So it's true fall vibes out. But also, so I don't control the heat in my own apartment. My landlady does, which is wonderful because we don't have to pay for heat. But at the same time, I would like to put the heat on right now and it's not on. So I should probably look into getting a space heater. And then it says, that's so exciting. Are you going to come to Vegas and get married? We are actually. We're getting to Vegas next October. So I already got comments on my community tab and my Instagram and stuff of people being like, oh my God, the wedding. Are you going to talk about it? And giving me advice for a wedding and blah, blah, blah. Which I think maybe if we didn't spend all of our money moving here, I would want to have a wedding and an official party and blah, blah, blah. But I'm not traditional in any sense of the word. And I think we all know this. So we're going to go to Vegas and elope. And what we're doing, if you're a watcher of the Half Cousins podcast, which is the podcast I do 3 times a week with Georgia, I'll probably link it in the description when this is all uploaded. I talk about this all the time in the podcast, my point. What we're doing is next October for our 10-year anniversary, so we've set a date, like we're getting married next October. What we're going to do is instead of having a wedding, because both our families are dysfunctional, we don't want to spend that money. Like I said, we spent it moving here. I'm not a traditional person. Nothing about a traditional wedding personally appeals to me, but I get why other people want it, etc. So instead of doing that, we're going to Vegas with all of our closest friends, and we're just like eloping and having a big party and having a lot of fun, because I've never been on an airplane before. I've never really traveled anywhere that wasn't the East Coast. And I think it'll be fun, and I just want to have like the party to end all parties. So that's what we're doing. It's very us. Both our parents are on board. Like, it will still be expensive, but it won't be wedding expensive, which is good. So Annette says weddings are overrated anyway. I totally agree. We got married in a chapel with one witness and it took 10 minutes. Yeah, I feel like when I was younger, I was really into the whole wedding thing and like picking out a dress and like blah blah blah, and like because people were saying spooky wedding in the chat. I like I just like there's a part of me that wants that, but like it's just I don't know, it's so expensive. It's so expensive. And like I've been to so many Emily was talking about this on our Patreon exclusive chat that we do on Tuesday nights. Emily was saying, as someone who works catering weddings, that they're very overrated. And that's the thing. I've been to so many cookie cutter weddings where you can tell that the venue they have it, it's just they do this a million times. It's textbook, like they've got it down to a formula. The food's only okay. It follows a very specific formula of like vows, first dance, all the speeches, same foods, blah, blah, blah. I don't want that. I've been to some really good, unique weddings, though. Like, I was someone's guest to, like, a witch wedding, like, years ago. They did that really well, because it was a really good mix of, like, traditional, but, like, witchy things. That was really fun. Or even my sister had a really good wedding, too. Like, my sister and her husband had, like, me and Matt had been together, like, a decade anyway, and kind of just wanted to get it over with. So, they had a wedding. They put all of their money into the food. And so it was like open buffet, all you can eat the whole wedding. It was open bar like the whole wedding. They didn't write their own vows. The person did the ceremony. It was beautiful. No like first dances, no like electric slide, anything. They told the DJ just play music all night. We wanted to feel like a nightclub. And like that was like the closest to how I would have done my wedding, which is like food and drink the whole time. I don't want anything cookie cutter. I don't know. So that's what we're doing. We're just gonna go have fun in Vegas. I need to catch up on this chat. Let's see. Sharon Pearson is all so sweet. Yeah, it's really nice actually. I feel like a grown up. Like I keep looking at my ring. It's like fucking amazing. I love this ring. I feel like such a grown up, and me and Matt, it's kind of hit us that like we're referring to each other as like my fiance. Like he had to get something from work and I had to be on the paperwork, and he was like, oh yeah, my fiance Lacie, like an email, and he came home and he was like, oh my god, we're adults, because that's how it feels like, because I always said that like Matt was more than like my boyfriend, and I hated like demoting him to like my boyfriend does that. So like, and it's like the John Mulaney skit, like, can my girlfriend come? So to be like my fiance, and to be like, and then like eventually my husband, like I'm gonna my husband the shit out of Matt, like, oh, my husband did this, or oh my, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's so dorky, but like, oh, okay, I'm losing the chat. Lisa says, make it spooky. Hell yeah, celebrate your relationships. Michelle says, hi, I miss you. Oh, I miss you guys so much. This is why, like, anytime I accidentally take a break going forward, I think I just need to do this, because it forces me to get over, like, the anxiety of like having to come back, and are people going to notice that I was gone for 2 weeks, and I have to like acknowledge that I was gone 2 weeks. Now after I do this chat, I can just film a video and post it and not overthink it. So like I need to, you know, every time I accidentally take a break, this is what I need to do. And that says, no way, can't wait to hang out with you, better save me a day. If we do go to Vegas, because we figured by the summer we'll know for sure financially if we can do that or not. By then I'm telling everybody when it's happening, and then people can just show up, and if they can't come, that's fine. A blue myth says, oh my god, I got married in a civil ceremony and it was still $400. I know. Oh, Haley says, do you have a P.O. box for cards/gifts? Thank you so much. Nobody ever has to send me anything. But that being said, my P.O. box is in my description of all my videos, and also it's in my channel description on my channel. But like I said, nobody ever has to send me anything. Like, if you want to send me like a card or something, like a nice, like, I like save every card that's ever sent to me. Like, I appreciate like just nice words. So nobody feel obligated. Like, it's there. I appreciate letters are good. Like, so no one feel obligated to do anything for me. Let's see. Katie says, one of my friends did this in Reno, and it was the best one I ever went to. We all fell asleep in their very large heart-shaped tub in the honeymoon suite. That's what I want. I want it to be like the party to end all parties. Annette says, I get it. I love the idea of a wedding and the wedding day, but the whole process sounds like it would be absolutely awful and stressful. So there was one specific wedding that made me really decide that day that I don't want a wedding. My cousin had this same kind of like stereotypical cookie cutter wedding that I'm just describing. Plus my family's Catholic, so they had a long ass Catholic ceremony before them. But they had like typical everything, like first dance, throwing a bouquet, chicken or fish, like blah, blah, blah. They had that, and my cousin looked miserable her whole wedding. And even like at one point, she finally got to see me and like hug me and stuff. Because that's the thing, you don't ever get to enjoy your own wedding, right? Because you have to say hi to everybody. She saw me and she said something like, don't ever have a wedding like this. And like that like stuck with me. I was like, I'm never doing this. Like, you do you, boo boo, but I'm not doing that. I'm absolutely not doing that. Emily says, yeah, I've catered some bomb-ass weddings and we do a great job, but most weddings are overrated, but we've catered smaller weddings for more unique couples. That's the thing, too, is, like, I don't have 8,000 people I'd like to invite to a wedding. I barely like the most people in my life. Like, I have, like, such a small group of people that I actually would want to be there for me on that day. So that's why it's, like, we're all going to Vegas. And, like, my closest friends already know what's happening, and they're already so excited. So I think that's the better avenue to take. Emily says, like the wedding we catered last week, we did a congee bar. I think I'm saying that right. Cuban sandwiches, sticky buns, and they had a karaoke set up and a dance floor. That's cool. I wish I was a karaoke person, but I suck. Shendy says, weddings are so expensive for one day. So many people get themselves into huge debt. Mine was non-traditional with a Halloween theme for the evening. I'm divorced now. Everyone expects me to do like a crazy spooky like Halloween thing, but there's nothing like traditional about me or Matt. So like, I don't know. And even like I was expecting Matt's mom when we told her to like get upset that we weren't having a wedding, but she was like, I understand. And I was shocked, and I was like, well, that's how you know we're doing the right thing, because of all people, I thought she would be the one to pressure us to have like a traditional wedding and get those traditional photos and like blah blah blah. So not for me. Oh, Cindy says we exchange handwritten poems as well as vows. Oh, jumping to makeup, because Haley asked me, have you watched Tati's new video on her palette release? I saw it. The like 3-minute clip thing, fine. Like, I think a lot of Tati fans will be happy that she's releasing a colored cosmetic and not overpriced vitamins, but I don't need it. If you guys could see the floor around me, I have so much makeup. I don't need, I feel like it has to be like a revolutionary release now for me to want it. And from Tati swatches, yes, it looked beautiful and it looked very Tati, and I think her fans will be happy, but it's just not for someone like me who has every ounce of makeup ever and has a personal Sephora in their house. So like, let's see. Like Teresa, that's my husband. A lot of my husbands. Every time I say my husband, I feel old. I'm 25. I'm 27. I'll be 28 when I get married. So I've been with Matt since I was 18. Crazy. Archon says, I'm so fucking happy for you. Best comeback ever. Thank you. I seriously did not mean to accidentally take a break. I meant to post a video last week like normal. I'm trying so hard to be a once a week at least upload. Like I think one video a week I can manage. But like I was so sick last week with allergies, and I cannot believe the one video I had pre-filmed was out of focus. That's my luck. Oh, Megan says, can't wait to send you two a gift. Thank you. Like I said, nobody ever feel obligated to send anything to me ever, but I do cry when I open gifts. So the makeup enthusiast says, My wedding was probably very cookie cutter to other people, but it was the best day for me. I don't really give a shit what other people enjoyed or not. There you go. That's all that really matters. That's why we're getting married in Vegas, because that's what I want to do. So I think so many people, though, I don't know, like, we're not even going to get into, like, the societal pressure of, like, weddings and, like, the preying upon women and their insecurities in the wedding industry. Like, don't even get me started. But, and, like, how the markup is in the wedding industry, because they, like, wedding industry people know that there's a societal pressure to have a certain wedding. Blah, blah, blah. We're not going to get into that. So, like, do what makes you happy. Like, I have a friend who just got married, like, last week, and she had a traditional, like, white dress, everything, like, traditional wedding. And she said to me, like, because she comes from a really messed up, like, past and family. She said to me, it's the one day of my life I'll feel like a princess and all the attention's on me. And I'm like, I get it. Totally get it. Like, you do you. Like, you know? What kills me is, like, you can get a degree for what some weddings cost. Like, you ever watch that show, Three Weddings, where they all go to each other's weddings and they all rate each other's weddings? The weddings on that show cost, like, oh my God. Like, I can't even imagine. And I don't know. And I think a lot of people want to have that, like, perfect wedding. Like, they care more about the wedding than the marriage. That's a whole other thing. Like, you do you. Lost everyone in the chat again. Somebody Trash says, hello. We're husband and wife the heck out of each other, and it's been, I don't know, a long time, says A&W Root Beer. Let's see. Congrats on the engagement. Thank you so much. Let's see. What have you been doing? I have been lazy and getting over the worst allergies I've ever had, and I got engaged, and that's where we are now. I had to plan my wedding 37 years. I had a week to plan my wedding. Oh. Does anyone remember the HCP, the Half Cousins podcast, where we talked about crowdsourcing solutions? Like, one person has a problem or hurdle, and everyone pitches in with the ideas, connections, etc. That was this TED Talk I watched about impossible dreams. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I think the TED Talk is called something like I forget what it is. I'm going to Google it real quick. Talk in possible dreams. That's a good one. So the woman who speaks in this TED Talk, I'm never going to be able to find it, because the one I typed in that phrase, I think it's like, the problem isn't your bad attitude or something like that. Let me be more creative. Problem. I can't type with these nails. Okay, let's see. Isolation is the dream killer, not your bad attitude. And it's a talk by Barbara Shear. Let me link it in the chat. This is a good TED Talk. I don't know why we're talking about this right now, but it's good. Sharon says their ceremony was like 20 minutes. Then we had 2 parties after. It was perfect. Jennifer says, hey, love, nice to see you again. Thank you. Kayla says, got engaged in April, married on July 3rd. My husband's father's pastor and his church has a big fireworks show. So we got married before the party and ended that night with fireworks. That sounds lovely, actually. Like, that's the stuff I love. Like, really, like, personal, like, tight-knit kind of things. I love that. Olivia says, I love my wedding. We did it potluck style. Both our families cooked and rented a tent for the backyard. See, I thought about that too. I thought for years if I did do a party, I was going to do something like really homemade at my parents' house, because that's how my parents actually got married. My parents also, like, me and my sister, were like together for years and just like, we're like, okay, we have to do this now. And my grandma, one of my grandmothers was a florist, and she did the whole thing for my mom, like just a party at home. Oh, wait, what's happening? I gotta. Oh, Sophia says, because you're my favorite, gave me $5. Thank you so much, Sophia. Oh my God. I've never had a super chat on my own channel. So, thank you so much. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, so my grandma did everything. Oh, and Jenny gave me $2. Thank you. Thank you so much. Do you stand me? I stand you. Thank you so much. Sorry. This is why no one can give me anything. I get emotional. Okay, so my grandma did everything for my mom, and she had all of her friends dressed up like waiters, And because my grandmother was a florist, she got just, the whole place was filled with flowers. She asked my mom, like, what kind of flowers you want. That was the only input my mom had. And she did my grandfather's house all just like decorated in flowers everywhere and candles, and all of her friends dressed it up like waitstaff. And it was really small, and it was just a party. Like, it wasn't anything. They had a little ceremony real quick with like 4 people witnessing it, and then everyone showed up afterwards for the party. And that was always like, oh, I'm gonna do that. So I think I'm keeping an element of that by having a 4-day long party in Vegas with just my favorite people. So okay, there's so much happening. Let's see. Em said something. Wait. Emily says, I love group brainstorming. Thanks for the TED Talk reminder, AW Group Air. Let's see. Em says, would you have considered to propose yourself? This is a good question. I think I'd like to propose to my boyfriend just because gender expectations, blah, blah, blah. Not right now, but in 1-2 years. I think, like, if Matt didn't officially propose, we were just going to get married anyway. Like, I think getting on one knee, giving me the ring was just kind of a way for us to, like, make it Facebook official. Like, I know that sounds so dumb, but before he, like, truly proposed, we had a conversation of, like, we're getting married in October of 2020 regardless. So, like, we were, like I said, like, really unofficially engaged. This was just a way of, like, making the announcement to our parents, letting all of our friends know, like, making it Facebook official, like, officially being like, okay, we're no longer just boyfriend, girlfriend now, we're fiance, and then fiance with 2 E's, I think is what you call a girl. So thank you guys again for the super chat so much, by the way. I'm like not used to that. I know on the Half Cousins podcast we get a little crazy and like do shots for super chat sometimes, so this is fun. Let's see. And the Reaper says, yes, that y'all came up with some ideas for me. I just want to say thanks. Oh, yay. And anyone who's a patron of the Half Cousins podcast, we have a Discord server, and there is an Impossible Dream section of the Discord server. So, like, that's fun. Shendy said, oh, wait, what's happening? Oh, Pamela says I have to leave too, but don't get emotional. Get an engagement ballot. Oh my God, you're so sweet. Thank you so much. I can put it towards, I really want the Lunar Beauty palette, so maybe I'll put all the super chats towards getting the Manny palette. It could be like an engagement present from you guys. That would be so sweet. So I'll do that, Pamela. Thank you so much. I'm sorry. Gifts are my love language. I get emotional. Emily says, I just had an idea why can't we stop classifying parties? Want to have people who love good food, gifts, and maybe drinks, have a party. Okay, then I want to throw a party like immediately and have like all of my YouTube friends drive up, and I'll cook because I love cooking and I cook for too many people as it is all the time. So like I was going to cook like a gigantic Alfredo pasta feast tonight, but then I ended up getting tacos because I'm just so tired. What is it about rain that makes us lethargic? I don't know. The Black Cat says, I feel like it's smart to have discussion about getting married, whether or not there's a proposal, especially when it comes to finances. I agree. I think me and Georgia, not to keep bringing up the podcast, but it's like if you want to keep seeing me weekly and talk in live kind of long form blah like this. Oh my God, Megan, give me one and Olivia, give me 2 hours. Thank you so much. Everyone's conspiring to get me the Manny palette, so thank you. What was I gonna say? I totally lost track. What were we saying about the podcast? I lost my train of thought. I got so sidetracked. What was I saying? Somebody help me out here. Oh, okay. For the podcast, I remember now, and it all came back to me. I was looking in the chat for guidance. Anyone who watches this back after the fact, I'm sorry. Thank you for hanging out with me after the fact. But we want to do a podcast that's specifically how to maintain long-term relationships, because I've been with Matt for 9 years. That our anniversary was just our 9-year anniversary. I forget how long George has been with Logan, like a very long time. Like I want to say like 7 years, like something really long too. And I know Hannah Louise Poston wants to be on it too, because she's also been with Joe for a long time. And we were all interested in talking about like the shit nobody talks about, because everyone talks about like this, like, oh my God, I just got engaged, like happy things, or like, oh my God, Matt's so great, he did whatever. Nobody talks about like the bullshit, and that's like the helpful things to talk about, which is important. Like I say all the time, Matt and I weren't really good like when we first got together all those years ago. So I kind of like want to openly talk about that and like how we personally got over it. So like I don't know, I think that this kind of stuff's important to talk about. Like, that brings me back to the conversation of like getting married and finances. Like, all that stuff is so important, and no one like really talks about that stuff. Like, you need to have open and honest communication about serious, like everything, but those really serious, like life altering kinds of decision things, like living together, finances, having kids, how you see your lives, who's gonna do what, like all of that stuff. So that's why no one talks about sharing a bathroom and rules with that. That's true too. Oh, Kayla, I don't know if I see you get the mani pal for me. Thank you so much. Thank you guys. You guys are so sweet. Oh my god, my lunar beauty palette is my engagement present from you guys. You all are so cute. I can't take it. I'm gonna cry. I don't even know. It doesn't tell me like how much there is. I seriously will like order it on camera and be like, I did it. Oh. Cecile says, yes, I remember the Patreon where y'all, what's happening? Oh, thank you so much. I can give you $14.99 and joy. I don't know how to do it. Oh, thank you so much. Oh my god. What was I saying? This is why I can't do super chats. I get so freaked out. Cecile says, yes, I remember the Patreon where y'all and Hillary's supposed to talk about that. I hope y'all do it because I'm 3 years in my current relationship. My last relationship was 6 years, and I think it's important. I agree. And I was actually listening to Samantha Ravenel's podcast about this, and she was talking about specifically parasocial relationships, which is like the one-sided relationships that normally exist between like a celebrity and a fan, or like an influencer now in modern day and a fan, like people who assume like act like the relationship is two-sided when really it's one-sided. And she was specifically talking about this phenomena of like watching people's relationships online and in the media and blah blah blah, and how people feel like entitled to your relationship, and then like when you Emily says, Lacie, just scroll back, you have at least 40 based on the super chat. Oh my god, thank you so much, everybody. What was I saying? I'm sorry. I'm just really excited. Anyway, she was specifically talking about like people being entitled to know everything about your relationships, and like having to know, and it got into like how you portray your relationship online. And Samantha was talking about how when she has her husband on the stream, like she gets comments that are like, you're really rude to your husband and like blah blah blah. And it's because she makes her videos, she's acting the same way she would behind closed doors, but nobody wants to see that. Everyone wants to see like the perfect couple. Everyone wants to see like, and she was specifically referencing Jaclyn Hill. And when Jaclyn Hill got divorced, she was like, what? How? They were perfect for each other. But then Jaclyn Hill gets on camera and is like, we were never good together. And how like you don't see that, and how important it is to share like the bad shit online so you don't have these like false narratives of like what a relationship is supposed to be online. Super interesting. If anyone wants to hear just not me regurgitate this, but like Samantha Ravenel will talk about this, go to her, not her most recent podcast episode, but the one before that. I think her podcast is called Approachable. Yeah, it's really good. Let's see. There's so much happening. Megan says, I've been married for 9 years and it's the most amazing ride. Oh, that makes me so happy. I love like when I see other people who've been together for a long time and I ask like, what's the secret? Like, cause you know, that's always like, that's like almost like a trope at this point. Like, what's the secret to a live marriage? I remember when I worked at Target, one of my coworkers had been with her husband for like ever, like 30, 40, like a long time, like so many years. And she said to me that the secret was laughing. And like, if that's true, then I feel good because Matt and I laugh all the time. As you can see, I laugh just talking a normal conversation, but we're constantly laughing. So I don't know. I have so many like relationship-y advice things to say. I don't know if I'm qualified to give relationship advice, but I've also been with someone almost 10 years, so I don't know. Laura says, I had 37 years with my best friend. That makes me so happy. Like, what is laugh a lot? I'm so shit. Yeah, I get laughing a lot. Even like my mom, when I was still living at home, this is so cheesy, but my mom used to tell me that she never worried about me and Matt because she always heard us laughing. And like, that just makes me so happy. Christine says, you're human, you're qualified. I mean, I can only ever give advice from my perspective. The Black Hat says, Black Hat says, I'm normally so uncomfortable watching couples online because I feel like I'm invading their privacy. No matter how curious I am, it just seems creepy to get invested. That being said, I'm a big fan of Jenna and Julia. Yeah, me too. Jenna and Julian. Not Julia and Julia like the movie. Jenna and Julian. I'm too excited. There's so much happening. Olivia says, I will be celebrating 10 years with my husband in November, and we watched each other become adults. That's how I feel. I've been with Matt since I was 18. He was 20. And I definitely feel like I grew up with Matt. Like, literally, like, I became an adult with Matt. Like, I'm still barely an adult at that, though. And I feel like that was like, that's such a make or break. Like, you either grow up and grow apart, or you grow together. I don't know. Like 18 years is young. 18 years old is young to like find the person you're gonna be with forever. But I think it was less that like in that moment he was the person that I'm supposed to be with forever, and more like we were able to grow and adapt and like compromise and be together. I don't know. I'm talking about Matt. It's weird. He's not here. Maybe I need to do like a meet my fiance like Q&A style video. But every time I turn on a camera with Matt around, he gets weird. So my parents have been married 30 years and they have the secret is to be friends as well as lovers. I agree. Georgia says, I'm watching you in Chipotle. You're famous. Oh, thank you, Georgia. Thank you for the $5. Ah. Emily says, my fiance video. I also like never, because I'm bringing this up because Jenny says, not a fangirl. I've been having a lot of fun being single since my marriage ended. Mine is the same 8 years, but I always had to do what my ex wanted, so I love my freedom. The right person will appear. I never had a single phase. I feel like I had like my high school boyfriend, then I immediately started dating Matt like the second I was in college. And like, I don't know, I never got to have like a wild single phase, but at the same time, I watch my friends date and it's rough. I don't know if I would be strong enough to do it because internet dating seems like the scariest thing ever. What is that? Oh, Emily says you have Lunar Beauty Bunnies and it's at Sephora now, Lacie. I looked earlier. Is it at Sephora? Oh, this changes everything. Let's see what's happening. Let's get on the Sephora app, guys. Ah! Mama W says, I just made it to my 23rd anniversary with my hubby. Known him since I was 13. We were friends first for years and then fell in love. That makes me so happy. Amanda says, dating sucks dick. Yeah. All of my closest friends are doing, I don't know if my best friend is still internet dating because he was having a rough time for a second. But my other closest friends are all internet dating as I look for a Lunar Beauty. And it's rough. Like, how, my one friend, like, takes screenshots of all of the most aggressive messages that she gets in her DMs, and I can't, I don't even know how she deals with this. Why am I crazy? It's not here. I see Strawberry Dream. Am I losing my mind? I'll deal with this eventually. But I don't like, okay, first of all, I'm gonna get demonetized. Which is fine. Unsolicited, I'll say eggplant photos, so I can hope to not be demonetized. Why does anyone think that is what is that gonna lead to? An unsolicited, I don't know, stuff like that I have to wonder. And also, not to get on a serious note, talk about demonetized. I'll be more likely to be demonetized for what I'm about to say. The whole like human trafficking element to internet dating, which is like a really real thing, is terrifying. Like you just like, and I was like a gross person on the internet meeting gross people as a teenager, but like you just like find a stranger, goes place. I don't know, it's creepy. I don't like it. Let's see. Oh, Emily sent me a link. Excuse me, I'm having taco burps. Adding this to my cart immediately. What else is in my Sephora cart right now? It says $91. What the hell else is in my cart? Oh, I put the Melt radioactive palette hypothetically in my cart. That's like more of a wish list thing. I don't know if I'm going to get it. But anyway. Let's see. Angela says, I just celebrated 19 years together, 10 years living together, unstable with chronic pain. He takes care of everything and me too. Oh, that's so sweet. I met my boyfriend on Tinder and he is definitely a diamond in the rough, says Cecile. I know people who have like met their partners online dating and they're fine, but then I hear awful stories. It's just like the worst stories ever. I don't know. Bunny Bentley says the palette is on the app. Okay, well, it's in my cart now. I'm excited. The only thing is I don't get the super chats right away, but like but I do get AdSense in like a couple days, so I could wait, but I'm so excited. So much is happening. Anyway. Let's see. Mom Def says, anything ever happened to my hubby, I would never date. Not the way things are today, no way. I think there's such a lack of respect now, and it's all about hooking up. So sad. I'm like so torn on the issue. So like, knock on wood, if me and Matt break up tomorrow, I don't know what I would do because I don't know if I could do the like weird Tinder swiping thing, small talk. Like, I don't know, but I don't know. But on the other time, would I want to like? I'm like so here for single people like embracing their sexuality and just like enjoying people's company for small amounts of time and blah blah blah. So, but I also like I don't know, it's scary, and I'm like such a hermit. I never leave my house. I don't know how I would organically meet other people otherwise. I don't know. Emily said I saw it in Sorday, but only a few colors. What? Do I have to just go to a Sephora? Instant gratification. I'm waiting till a VIB coupon for any purchases. Yeah, I do kind of want the Blind Beauty gave me showers. Thank you so much. Thank you. Wait, what's happening? The gloss set, Lacie. Oh, the gloss set. Oh, that's what you're talking about. The gloss set. I want the darker gloss, but I can't buy a gloss set. I have so many glosses. I just bought all the long time Halloween glosses. They're next to me. I'm glossed out. Kayla says, together for 5 years, married for 3. If anything happens to my husband, then I'm moving in with my mom. We're becoming crazy cat ladies. Yeah, I could become a crazy plant lady. That could be in my future. The fact that you have my friend Totoro behind you makes me love you more. Because here, Totoro's like, I like he makes it feel cozy. If I buy the set later, I'd be happy to split it up. Lacie, the brighter colors club me most. Oh my god, if you buy it, I want the darker color. That's all I want. So like, let me know. Sharon says, in my opinion, there's nothing wrong with just hooking up. Like you said, enjoying someone else for a few hours is a great part of the human experience. Yeah, but like me, I say that objectively because I believe that objectively. But emotionally, I am a crybaby Pisces, so I feel like I get attached to everybody. Hence why I cry every time anyone gives me a super chat because I have chronic imposter syndrome and I'm hella emotional. So this was supposed to be the super chat. Enjoy your Lunar Beauty palette. I'm sorry, oh, thank you so much. Don't ever apologize ever. You gave me anything. That's like more than I could ever ask because no one should ever give me anything. So thank you. Don't. Oh my gosh. Essence Sarah says, I'm hoping the next couple to get engaged is Hannah and Charles. Hey. I mean, like, what they do, I won't pressure them, but that would be fun. I know that Hannah already said that she's going to have a bougie wedding, so total opposite of everything I'm saying. She wants to be a princess for a day and the whole 9, where I'm like, I just want to party. So, let's see. Megan says, I've been with my partner for almost 7 years. Our anniversary is on Halloween. She's my best friend. That's so great. I love hearing like all of these like long relationships in the thing. It just makes me happy. I wish I could just hook up. I can't do it either. Let's see, I'm a Pisces moon, so maybe that's where it comes from. Exactly. If you're a Pisces, you're a crybaby. And I'm saying that as a Pisces. We're crybabies. I cry constantly. So Pisces are awesome. My husband is a Pisces. I'm a Pisces moon too, so I understand, says Olivia. Oh, did I finally catch up with the chat? That's fantastic. How long have I been doing this? 40 minutes? Wow, time flies, but in a good way. I'll keep going as long as the chat's here for this. Me and Georgia are streaming for the Half Cousins podcast tonight at 8 my time, 8 Eastern Standard Time. It's currently almost 6 my time. So in like 2 hours, I'm going live again with Georgia. I think we're talking about gender today. So if you want to see me get real serious and like show up with facts and like I have receipts, and by receipts I mean like peer-reviewed sources because that's how I roll. Let's see, is Half Cousins updated what we're doing? I think we're doing gender today, but I don't know if I'm losing my mind. I'm pretty sure in lieu of the Trisha Paytas fiasco, I don't really want to comment on that because that's a whole thing. But I thought it opened up an opportunity for us to have a conversation about gender and understanding gender and gender expectations and gender roles and how they play into sexuality and blah, blah, blah. So I'm like broke out Google Scholar, and I tried to hack back into my college's library database, but I don't think I have access to that anymore now that I'm graduated for many years. So I tried my best to get like good peer-reviewed sources. Emily says, "Do you really believe in zodiac signs?" First of all, Em says, "Do you really believe in zodiac signs?" It's me. You expect me and all of my spiritual bullshit to not believe in zodiac signs? I'm a Leo and a crybaby as well. So what I've learned, so I'm like mildly into zodiac. Like I'm not like, I have my chart. We could talk about it. I don't know what a lot of it means. One of my closest friends is really into this stuff and has really taught me that like you have to delve into like your sun sign, your moon sign, your rising, and like all of your houses and blah blah blah. And if you do the chart, because when I looked into maths at first, math's a Leo, and Pisces and Leos are not supposed to get along. From what I understand, when you get a water sign and a fire sign together, when it's good, it's great, and when it's bad, it's bad. So I think on paper we're not supposed to work or some crap. But his like sign, his like stuff always like kind of made sense, but not really. And then she did maths chart for me, and I was like, oh, like he had like a lot of like earth in his chart and stuff. I don't know. I think I'm a Taurus moon and a Capricorn rising, and I wish I could tell you what that means. I'm gonna go into my co-star app real quick. This is derailed real quick. Your chart. I'm a Capricorn rising and a Taurus moon. That all means things. So when I read about those specific placements, I like it. It always resonates with me a lot. So I don't know. I feel like there's got to be something to it. I don't know. I don't know. Megan says, "Is this a response to Trisha?" I'm assuming the gender conversation. Yeah. So anyway, before we jump back to zodiacs, yeah, because I was seeing a lot of ignorant shit be said from all parties, like Trisha and people criticizing Trisha. So I kind of wanted to use it as like my time to shine, because for anyone who doesn't know, even though I say this a million times, I feel like it's a meme. The way that Hannah says, like, I'm studying social work, I feel like I bring up my degrees every 5 seconds. I have degrees in sociology and anthropology. Anthropology, specifically, I studied biological anthropology, physical anthropology, which is the study of humans and primates and their anatomy and evolution. So, like, and on top of that, like sociology, culture, blah, blah, blah. So gender is like my shit. Like I know about gender. I know about sexuality. I know about biology. I know about culture, blah, blah. So I like came prepared. So that's what we're doing tonight. And it's not a Patreon exclusive. I believe it's open to everybody. So interesting. I need to catch up with the chat again. I was caught up and then I lost everything. Everybody is talking about zodiacs. Let's see. Okay, going back up the chat a little bit. Blind Beauty says, "I think spending a ton of money on a wedding is stupid. You can make a down payment on a house for what most people spend on a wedding." Yeah, we moved for what most people spend on a wedding. Like, truly, we could have had a bomb-ass wedding for the price it costs to move here and have furniture and lives. So that was our wedding. Sean says, "Studio Ghibli." I'm not picking my nose, by the way. I'm scratching. Don't judge me. With my claw nails. You have nails like this and just like compels you to like touch your face and talk with your hands and itch things and like pick up things and like, like I don't know. What is it about fake nails? Aston Sarah says, "Are you doing your own makeup for your wedding, or are you gonna have someone else do it? When I get married, I want to do my own." I'm not having a wedding. I don't know if you were here for the beginning of this chat, but I'm eloping in Vegas. So, and I'll be wearing a witchy outfit that is dressed up, but I will be doing it all myself. Let's see. Everyone's okay. So there's a lot of Geminis in the chat. Geminis, man, you guys are rough. My dad was. My dad's a Gemini. I said was. Oh my god, knock on wood. My dad is a Gemini. Let's see. Yes, Google Scholar. Bethany, I'm a Leo with Leo rising and Scorpio moon. I think that makes me hard work. Oh my gosh. That's a lot of aggression in a chart. Same, I'm familiar with my chart, but I don't fully get it. Yeah, because there's so many things in a chart. And my friend really broke it down, like what it all meant. But like, I don't know. I think like those 3 signs, your sun, your moon, and your rising. Why did I just hold my hand weird? Oh, I thought I lost a nail. In the camera, it looked like a nail was gone. Almost had a heart attack. It's not that dramatic. I think it's those 3 signs that matter the most. I don't know what I'm talking about. I know way more about gender than I do astrology. Had to look it up again, but I'm a Cancer with a Pisces moon. I'm a double crybaby. Oh, yes, my whole family and my best friend are all Cancers, and you all are crybabies. Worse than Pisces. No, that's not true. Water signs are just emotional. Bethany says, my friends rented out an entire summer camp for a weekend event wedding, staying in a cabin we were as kids, but running around drunk on our own trips. That's amazing. See, that's what I want. I want something fun. Jenna is a Virgo and Julian is an Aries. They're not supposed to work either. I can relate to their dynamic so much because it reminds me so much of me and Matt. Like, his, like, Aries energy is so similar to Matt's Leo energy. I relate so hard. Getting mad that every fucking cabinet's open. I can relate to that. I have a Cancer moon, Cancer sun, and Leo rising. You can say I'm emotional, says Aaron. Oh my gosh. I lost the chat. Let's see. What is the start of Leo season? Isn't it the 23rd of July? I'm not sure. Matt's birthday is the beginning of August. So that sounds like it. I think it is like the end of July, beginning of August. Because I know the end of August is something different. I think. Moon is your emotional baseline. Sun, birth sign, is your baseline self. Rising sun is your first impression sign. Just put it into 5-second snippets, says our Daily Broad. Let's see. Sensational says, Lacie, my older sister has her PhD in physical anthropology. That's awesome. I'm jealous because I don't know if I'm ever going back to school, so I might have to die with my bachelor's degrees, but my dream is to get a PhD. I like admire people with PhDs so much because I don't know if I'm strong enough. Sociology is one of my double majors, says Megan. I love sociology too. I think I'm an anthropologist at heart though. And then a master's in special education K through 12. That's so great. Yeah, anyone who goes to get higher education, you're a lot stronger than I am because I'm just now, I should say, coming around to the idea of coming back to school, and I've been out of school for like 3 years. So I took a gap moment. I originally started with a gap year and it turned into a gap moment after I graduated because I really. Oh, Mama Goody says, hi there, I'm new here. I heard about you from Jenna's reviews. Thank you so much. Oh my God. Yeah, I feel like I've gotten a lot of shout outs lately. Somebody earlier said they found me through Hannah's Smoothie Bowl, Hannah. And then Teresa's been shouting me out. Like, I feel like a lot of people have been saying nice things about me lately. So thank you, everyone. And hi to people who are new to me and have come from my friends. Like, that's awesome. I'm very overwhelmed. There's so much nice things happening today. Let's see. Do you mind, sir? I'm hanging out with my friends. I'm a Scorpio born on Halloween, and people say Scorpios is so vindictive. I don't get that because I always try to think of the feelings of others, even when they hurt me first. So the thing about Scorpios that I've learned is they're either like the nicest person I've ever met in my life or the absolute worst person I've met in my life. Like the sinner or the saint, like really two sides of a coin. So, I mean, I don't know if that's true, but I feel like that's the case. Let's see. I found you from your first video with makeup struggles. Oh my God. Thank you so much. Yeah, the first time Makeup Struggles ever shouted me out in a video, I lost my shit. I remember specifically she was talking about, I think it was either a review or a no-buy or blah, blah, blah. And she said, if anyone wants ideas on how to use like this Juvia's Place palette, Spookless and Fat Hips breaks down this video. And I was like, what? Because I still feel like nobody. And then I get messages of people being like, oh my God, I love you so much. And I'm such a fan. I'm like, why? I'm like a loser in her living room. I definitely see you on Teresa's page, but I found her because of you. I love Teresa so much. Teresa, talk about earlier, Emily said we should just throw a party for no reason. I want to throw a party and just have Teresa and Alex and Emily show up, and then like Hannah drives down and we get Nisa here from Boston and just throw a good party. Georgia flies over. Let's see. I'm a saint until someone goes after a friend or a family member. Then my inner bitch Scorpio goes on rampage. Honestly, the pod pushed me over 500 subs. Got me emotional, says Emily. Yeah, someone sent me a clip from a really old YouTube video of mine where I think I had just hit like 1,000. And I said in that video, like, oh, if I ever hit 10K, if I ever hit double digits thousands, I'm going to shit my pants. And It's true. When I hit 10K, I was like, holy fuck. 10,000 people. Like, I always try to imagine what my audience looks like in people. So if 10,000 people were in this room right now, and I can't fathom it. And then I was trying to put that in perspective for Matt, and Matt is a big hockey fan. He's a big New York Rangers fan. So I said, like, I Googled how many people can be seated in Madison Square Garden, and it's like 20,000 some change. So I'm like, half the Madison Square Garden has subscribed to my channel. And that blew his mind because it was like quantifiable at that point. Because even like 500, if 500 people couldn't stand in my apartment, like you just couldn't. If 10,000 people were in the street right now, like I can't fathom that. And that's why, like, I don't know, it's like my numbers continue to like go up. My brain kind of wants to melt because I'm very aware that is people that like I haven't bought my followers. Like that's like, or my subscribers, I should say. Even on Instagram, I think I have 5 that's followers. Like I haven't bought my sub count. Like those are real people who, for whatever reason, felt like I was interesting enough to subscribe to, and I can't fuck like that's a So before I start getting sappy and emotional again, let's see what is happening. I don't know what these hashtags are, says this person. It's probably. Let's see. For any sign, if they aren't balanced, you can get the worst things of each sign. Scorpios can be very scary and vengeful, or the most caring and loyal. I think it changes with age and as you grow. And this is where anyone who's skeptical of like zodiac stuff was like, well, you can say that about any person because it's true. But like I said, I feel like there's something to that. Broken One says, my first time in one of your live chats, I'm curious which sets of keys you mostly use. I've got the Goddess and Spiral Tarot decks. And I'm assuming you mean what deck I use the most, like what tarot deck I read the most. So we're jumping topic completely. I will put into the chat so this was, let's see, I can't type it out. Okay, so I'm gonna put a link to the chat. This is the first tarot deck I ever bought myself about 9 years ago, I would say. I've been reading for almost as long as I've been with Matt. This deck I'm about to link in the chat was the first tarot deck I ever got. Matt actually bought it for me. There's like this superstition that you're not supposed to buy your own tarot deck. I don't believe that. But I was like told that when I first got this deck. So actually Matt got me my first tarot deck. This is my most used deck. This is still, to me, I call this like old reliable. It's the one that I consistently go back to. So like that, but I have so many. I think I have over 200 tarot decks, but tarot and oracle decks, I should say. I should group them all together. So yeah, if you think I have a lot of eyeshadow palettes, I also collect tarot. Actually, I have one. I always have whatever I've bought recently near me on the floor because I do like my editing here and I like write all my stuff down. This is kind of like my coffee table is my office. So I have like all my new makeup here, but I also have a tarot deck that I just bought. I just got the botanical deck, which is, I believe, a tarot deck and an oracle deck all together. I had wanted this for so long. This has been, and I bought another one. I bought, what's it called? I just bought one the other day too. That's like my kryptonite is tarot decks and, let's see, and palettes, eyeshadow palettes. I just bought, that's not what I just bought. What's happening? The Carnival at the End of the World tarot, which is a really interesting one too. So what is happening? Oh, did my Teespring order ship? Oh, speaking of tarot decks, it just shipped. That's what just shipped. Speaking of the devil. Ew. Let's see. Black Cat asked a really good question. What's the difference between tarot and oracle decks? So tarot decks typically always follow the same format. They're typically always 78 cards. There's 28 major arcana cards and then minor and then arcana. I might say, if I've been saying it wrong the whole time like an idiot, arcana cards, and they follow a very specific format, starting with the Fool and blah, 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 and they have 4 suits, and the cards, those 78 cards typically mean the same things no matter what deck you're using, what it looks like, blah, blah, blah. So that's why when you learn to read just one deck, you can typically read them all. It's kind of like learning a language. Whereas an oracle deck is kind of up to whoever made it. It's anything it wants to be. It's completely up to the artist, the creator. It could be just words on a card. I have one oracle deck that I love so much where it's just pictures. There's no like booklet that tells you the meanings, nothing like that. You just have to go off your instinct of what these photos or what these like artwork pictures, I should say, give to you. So that to me that's the major difference between a tarot deck and an oracle deck. There are other variations of tarot decks. Like most decks follow the Rider-Waite-Smith format. There's also the Aleister Crowley kind of format. Some decks are made after. Like a couple others. But oracle decks are just whatever the person who designed that specific deck of cards to be. There's no specific number of cards. There's no specific format. It's just up to the artist's interpretation. So it's harder for me actually to read with oracle decks because I go through so many decks and I haven't spent that time to like learn that language. I think if I was just one person with one oracle deck, that'd be fine. But I'm a person who reads tarot cards, so for me, it's like fun to just get another 78 card deck. But then something like this, the botanical deck, taco burps, sorry, there's extra cards, so I have to like take the extra time to learn those extra cards. But I'm excited. Let's see. Here's going back up to the chat. JC says, if I drive from the Bronx to Albany, are you going to read my cards? Please don't do that. Is that creepy? Yeah, that's creepy. No offense, I'm sure you mean well. But that no one come find me unless I'm in a public meet and greet that's like established and safe. I got the Tarte Pro palette for my JD Glow shadows because of you, and I love it. Thank you so much. That's so great. I have that near me too because I need to make a video with these. My JD Glow shadows. Someone sent me a question I think a question on Instagram that was like, "Are these really worth it?" Yes, I'm not. I would never steer you wrong. Like, or I would at least not try to. They're worth every penny. Let's see. My ex. Wait, what? Wait, what? What was it said? Wait, Broken Run says my ex burned all of mine when we divorced. Are you talking about all of your tarot card? Oh, yes. Some refer to them as keys to the future. I would throw hands. Because I have so many cards and I have so many specifically that are like rare or out of print or were indie releases. I would fight somebody for ever touching my collection. Anyway, my glasses keep slipping, which is a fantastic name and made me just touch my glasses. Says, I think I was subbed to Abby Williamson first and Hannah Smoky Glow. Then the rest of the little small creator YouTubers just kind of flooded into my recommendations and it's been so lovely since. Thank you so much. Yeah, I agree. When I found this community, I was like, oh, okay, this is the kind of makeup content I want to watch because it's so much better than don't get me started. Lady of Feywood says, I've never tried tarot cards, but I'm very curious about it. Do it. Go that website that I linked to, Eclectic Tarot, the website, that is like your resource for any deck you could possibly want because there's 8 bajillion decks in the world. Find one that vibes with you, and just go for it. Do you give readings for the freebie? I mean, I'm currently not reading professionally, but if enough people want me to, I could consider opening like my services up for payment. I don't know. It just gets kind of emotionally taxing and overwhelming. We've talked about offering it as like a Patreon perk, but I've never really gone through with it because the idea kind of overwhelms me. Because I used to read cards professionally for a while, kind of during my first degree. I don't know. If enough people are like, hey, I'm interested in this, I can consider it. Rickman says, yes, ma'am, he burned all 80-something sets mine. I am so sorry to hear that. Oh my god. I would, oh my god. I would literally, that's so upsetting. That's like, because that's such like a personal, spiritual thing for somebody. So to do that is so cruel and evil. Like, wow, that's so effed up. I'm sorry. It's disrespectful to destroy someone else's property like that. Like, in general, don't destroy other people's property because that's a crime. But specifically, like, cards like that, that's someone's, like, that's so personal. That's such, like, a kick to the stomach. That's so fucked up. I would happily pay you for a reading. I don't know. I gotta think about it. Yeah, I gave him back to his mommy. Oh, gosh. Oh, gosh, my mother took my cards away to appease some Bible study group, but laid her foot down when they gave her static about her gnome collection. Don't even get me started. That I need to make merch that fully just says "Don't even get me started" because I say that every 5 seconds on the podcast. But Black Cat says I feel like burning tarot is also just bad juju. Seriously. Well, I've gotten comments on my Instagram whenever I post about my cards on my Instagram. I've gotten like Bible verses posted, which is like cool, I guess, but like you came into MySpace. Like my Instagram is MySpace, not MySpace the website. Space. Like don't come into my space and like tell me what I'm doing, because I'm not going into your space and telling you. Like anyone who's even listening right now, if you don't believe in this stuff, that's fine. Like just respect my life, and I'm an adult and I do what I want. Let's see, Shendy. Oh, our daily broad says to Shendy, I have a deck and I only let people touch their personal significators. My God, English. When I tried to read, I sucked at it though. It's a matter of practice. I get a lot of questions that are like, how do you start reading? Practice. Like that same deck that I linked earlier, the Phantasmagoric Theater Tarot, I brought it with me everywhere. I read for anyone who would even tolerate me reading for them. I read for myself. I just pulled cards and started memorizing. Like I was constantly practicing. I always recommend journaling. So pulling cards and then writing down not only like the textbook kind of definition for every card, but what you think it means, what you're getting from that situation. Um, there are really good books too. I read Around the Tarot in 78 Days, which is really good. It gets into like relationships and like people and like how to specifically take one card, losing my voice, and make it connect to another card so that you can start weaving together multiple cards. Really good. And also I have the Tarot Bible, which is just like a resource, and it's written by the same people who do like the Crystal Bible. I'm looking at my bookshelf. And I think I have the Crystal Bible. I don't know what the other Bible is I have, but I have 3 of them. They're like little colorful books, and it just is a perfect and like resource encyclopedic kind of thing of like what a card is, what its name is, what it means, what its definition is, like real kind of like a textbook. So those are all good resources. Or there's a website, Biddy Tarot, Biddy Tarot. I say tarot and tarot. Sorry, I can't speak English. We've all learned. Tarot. They're a good resource too. So like number one though is practice. Let's see. I'm actually learning palmistry along with learning my tarot deck. That's so fun. I always like wanted to get into palmistry, but like I feel like I'm good with just one thing. I've also done runes before, but I'm not as good with runes. The pendulum is really awesome. I really like actually using the pendulum. Let's see. And then I also like, I want to get into tea leaf reading just because that feels so witchy. Like, whether you believe it or not, it just seems like the most fun thing ever to like do that process. Our Kelly Francis Lacie, I try, but I'm too much of a molder, wanting to believe with a strong sense of wonder at war with insanely strong logic, perhaps even hyper logic. It's why I've never finished a novel either. I understand. Like, I have a hyper logical side, which is why I'm 2 sides of a coin. Because I'm like a sciencey person, like studied science, like geology is my life, like physical anthropology is my life. Like I have that logical sciencey side, like super in love with evolution. Like that's so. Then I also have this weird spiritual side. I don't know. I'm 2 sides of a coin. I've always been that way. I get it. What is happening right now? To y'all here, can you read or sense things about someone online? It depends. So right now there's a lot happening. There's a whole moving chat. There's 80 people watching. Thank you all for being here, by the way. There was like 100 people earlier. Holy crap. This is like chaotic and crazy. I used to do readings online, actually, and that's like a whole other ballgame. So I feel like you can. And we also have really awesome tools in our exposure now, like FaceTime and whatnot. Like back in the day, I would do like Skype calls and stuff. So like, I think so. Because my sense of verisimilitude, I don't know if I'm saying that word right, overrode my sense of story and they turned out dull as a result. Let's see. The only time I've used tarot cards were in high school creative writing class and in a one act for his drama class where I was playing a fraudulent psychic. I played a fraudulent psychic in drama class too. We did an improv coffee house where we had to come up with a character and be in character the whole time, and then we did improv games. It was so fun. My character was a fraudulent psychic. I had a magic 8 ball, and that I would like secretly go behind and like shake a magic 8 ball and like thank you for readings. That's fun. Let's see. Emily says a lot of my Palestinian aunts do coffee readings. It was so fascinating as a kid. Yeah, I want to like do that. I want to experience that. I want to go to someone who can give me a tea or a coffee reading, and I want to learn how to do that because it's just like you get to drink a thing. It's like a hot liquid. It feels like more mystical. I don't know. Like it just it's like a moment. Like I want to do that. Ardelia Brat says, I wonder if people would pay for an astrologer who isn't a true believer and has no investment in the reading aside from interpretation, no ulterior motive to it. Hey, that could be a good gig. Your thing is that you're hyper logical and you don't believe it, but this is what I'm getting. I bet people would be here for that. We've been doing this for over an hour, and I'm starting to lose. I need water. My throat's starting to hurt. And I have to do the podcast thing. Let's see. Ariella Brad says, I love all you ladies. Nobody's judging me for being a spiritual lump of lead. Hey, everyone has to do you. Like in life, the secret to being a happy person, this is like getting on my soapbox for a second. The secret in my mind to being a truly happy person, happy with yourself, happy with your life, is realizing deeply in your soul that you can only ever worry about yourself. Like, not in a selfish way, but like when you really realize that what other people do will never have an effect on you, and they also just have to just deal with their own shit. When you truly realize that and realize that you can only worry about what seems right for you, what works for you, what makes you happy, more taco burps, like eating tacos, that makes me happy, then you're good. Like you have the key to life. I can only ever worry about myself. So what anyone else does, I have no judgment. Whether you're more spiritual than I am, whether you absolutely believe in nothing, that's cool. As long as you have the same respect and realize that I'm a person that can only do what's right for me, cool. Let's see. All right. Besides Manny's palettes, are there any witch or magic related palettes? I can't think of any. Everyone else is welcome to suggest any. I can't think of any. Oh, I will let the live chat crew in on a little secret. I ended up finally getting So Jaded, which is the Kathleen Lights ColourPop collab. I found a coupon that worked, which made this a little cheaper because I was not paying $40 for this. This, I would argue, is kind of like spiritual theme because it's like your birthstones. I don't know, it's like crystals. Am I like reading too much into it? This is a really fun palette. I actually took this palette back to New Jersey with me. That's why it's out here. And I really like it. So that's kind of like witchy, but not really. And there's a lot of indie brands that are witchy, but like, I don't know. Let's see. Oh, Kathleen Garrett says, what was your podcast? I'm working while listening. For anyone who doesn't know and likes this and likes just hanging out with me, I do a weekly podcast with Georgia Harris. Why is McAfee trying to scan right now? Rude. I'm doing something. I do a weekly, 3 times a week now, podcast with Georgia Harris, who's another YouTuber, my bestie. We do the Half Cousin podcast. You can type in the words Half Cousin podcast on the YouTube search bar, or it's always linked on my channel. It's linked in all of my videos. We stream every Sunday as our long stream, and that's where we get like a guest or do a serious topic. We have one weekly Patreon only exclusive chat where that's way more casual. And sometimes our YouTube friends come on that too. Like Hannah Louise Poston joined us one week. Hannah Smith and Glow Hannah joined us last night. Those are specifically for the people who contribute to the Patreon, which is helping us get better equipment so that we can then put our podcast on like SoundCloud and stuff. And then we also just started doing a second public podcast where we either have been doing cousin commentary, where we comment on everything, all the drama, typically or current events or like news stuff that happened during the week, or one week nothing really exciting happened, so we just had a random kind of chat like this where we just talk about whatever the chat want to talk about. And this week we're talking about gender because of the whole Trisha Paytas thing brought up a good opportunity to talk about gender. So I think it's fun. We have Emily, who's in the chat, Emily Hanhan, and Teresa's Dead was just on our podcast last Sunday, and we all got shit-faced, and it was a great time. So let's see. So anyway, it'll probably be linked up into this video. I also want to add that if you feel yourself judging others, that's okay, but also you don't have to act on it. You can let it pass, says Emily. That's good advice too. When you learn that nothing is gained in the world from judging someone openly to their face, then you can live a happy life. If your beliefs hurt somebody, says our Daily Broad, you're beautiful. If your beliefs hurt nobody, you're beautiful and I love you, even if we don't see anything eye to eye. I agree. Emily says there are some indie brands that have done like Ouija palettes. Yeah, I see a lot of ghosts and like Ouija stuff and like Halloween kind of things, but the insides are always not as exciting as the packaging. So, wasn't there something from Shroud Cosmetics Previous Strobe that was kind of witchy? Oh, their Arcana palette. Speaking of tarot and Arcana, they just released an Arcana palette. I didn't buy it because it was only on pre-order. So I'm waiting for it to just be available because one of the things that I'm doing to control my crazy shopping is to not buy things on pre-order and to convince myself that I can wait. So that's what I'm doing. But that too just happened. Let's see. Someone should do a Futhark palette. Am I saying that right? I don't know if I'm saying that right. I would buy the shit out of that display. Just to display. JC says, Lacie, help me. Are women closer to nature and men are closer to culture? I'm procrastinating with paper now. Are women closer to nature and men are closer to culture? No, because I think that culture defines all of us, which defines gender roles. So I would say both are completely dependent on culture and not nature. I don't think anything we do is not, because gender in itself doesn't exist in nature, which I will get into in the podcast. So I don't know. Let's see. It's for my third class girl. Personally, so is the question: are men or women closer to nature or closer to culture? I think we're both closer to culture, and then women just are told it's nature when it's really culture. That's what I really think. Welcome to my TED Talk. Welcome to my anthropology class. That's what I really think. I think that we're both closer to culture, but women are told that what is cultural is natural. And that, or even both. Maybe the argument is both. Interesting. Lunatic Labs has cool packaging. Getting off this note. Let's see. They're trying to say women are travel bearers and men participate in law religion. Yeah, that's cultural. To me, like this, this is all just cultural to me because, again, we're told that, we're told that gender roles are inherently natural and that it's like, oh, it's just chromosomes, which I'm going to get into all of that on the podcast tonight, so this is a preview. But it's just culture. So that's just me. Oh, Rai says, hi, I live and love you so much. I saw you live and I love you so much. I love you too, Rai. Girl, I mind fuck. Your mood is my mood also. What the hell? Let's see. What's happening? Angela says both. How we define ourselves and go about our lives is based on our culture, like gender is a construct and race too. Yeah, that's my mindset right now. Is like, this is such a good question, but it's like, I think that both are closer to culture, but we're just often told that things are inherently natural when they're not. Our Daily Broad says, well, since women are expected to perform the childbearing duties and men end up shaping culture until and unless a society has a role for extended family cross-gender careers. Well, okay. So, okay, which works out so well for people like me. So that's a good point, too, that are women inherently closer to nature because men control culture and therefore dictate. This is becoming welcome to my gender theories class 101. Gender is created from culture, gender isn't real. Hey, we're gonna get into this on the pod. I'm gonna shill out half of this podcast one more time. Gender is just a clusterfuck, says right. I agree. This is a loaded question, says 59. True. I need to go get water. Okay, I've been podcasting for like an hour. Or podcasting. I'm in the state of mind. You could argue that women doing the child raising thereby they actually control culture. I would agree with you because I see where you're coming from, but no. Because we live in a patriarchal society in which men not only dictate the gender roles for women, but also other men. We're going to get into this on the podcast. Emily says I'm plugging the pod and give a link. You guys are so fun. I'm glad we can have a conversation like this, like respectfully as well. Because, like, if people were shitty and were like, nah, I would be like, why are you my audience member? Because I would have assumed. No, we're doing it tonight. We're actually doing it in an hour and a half, says JC. We're actually doing it tonight. I don't know what we're doing this Sunday yet, but I believe we're doing gender tonight. And if we're not, well, now we have to because I've talked about it so much. I'm going to probably end this stream here. There are sirens outside. I need to get water because my throat hurts from talking so much. Angela says she has to go anyway, so this is what we need to do. Ryan says you need vocal rest. Oh my god. Sirens. So I'm going to end my little stream here. We can pick this conversation up in an hour and a half on the Half Cousins podcast. I came with my sources. We're talking about gender. I feel like an expert at this point, but who knows? That's what we're going to do. So... Let's see. Tea with honey. Love your mind. Love this chat. I love you guys so much. Thank everyone who like was here with me, everyone who talked with me, everyone who gave me a super chat. I'm definitely gonna buy that palette tonight, and I'm gonna do exactly what you guys wanted me to do, and I'm gonna buy the palette as a little gift. And I thank you guys for that. And I'm just like, I'm so grateful for everyone who hung out with me, anyone who donated, anyone who's here, anyone who's being respectful about spirituality, gender, what have you, weddings. We had a good chat today. This will be posted live later for anyone who came in at a certain point and wants to hear everything else. Hang out with us in the podcast. I love you guys so much. I'm going to go. I'm going to hit end stream. I love you all. Thank you all for the well wishes. I'll see some of you guys, hopefully, in a little bit. I'm going to go vocal rest because if not, Rye will yell at me. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. End the stream.